So I finally got a chance to watch the Clubhouse, the Boston Red Sox documentary. My God, I'm not even going to cut that out. That is what it is. I finally got a chance to watch it, and I'm going to lay out as many of my thoughts as I can possibly bring, uh, all in this video. So stick around if you're interested in that kind of thing. If you're not, don't. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Um, this is just kind of me testing the waters, seeing if reviews are something that people are interested in, especially of sports documentaries and new ones at that. So we're gonna see if we can make something out of this. If not, again, it's no big deal. It's kind of testing ground. We're still early in this channel's cycle, and just kind of seeing what works and what doesn't. So again, this is my review of the Red Sox documentary Clubhouse that was on Netflix. Yes, I'm about a month late. Sorry. I've been busy, and I was trying to watch it while I was at work, give myself something to do at work, and of course, every time you turn it on, something happens. You get a call, you have to go do something. So, which is not a big deal, that people, unfortunately for people, they need help, and there's not much I can do there. But the point of this is not to flaunt my wares about a job. The point is, I'm very late getting to this. I'm finally getting to it. So, stick around if you'd like to. If you do, I appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy my thoughts on this. So, um, man, there's a lot of mixed feelings about this because it's not particularly, it's not bad by any means. As a matter of fact, I really liked it, and I think I would have liked it no matter who the team was. Being the Red Sox, it kind of meant a lot to me. It was super cool to see a team of mine be the face of something for a docuseries, and getting the opportunity to see this, it reminded me a lot of Hard Knocks. If I'm being honest, and it went through the whole season. Now I'm gonna be honest, I don't have HBO. I've never watched Hard Knocks. It reminded me of what I would have expected from Hard Knocks. Even more so, it might have even reminded me a little bit of maybe a longer, more drawn out version of the old documentaries of America's Game. If you're an NFL Network fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're not, forgive me. I'm not great at explaining this. But what America's Game was a documentary about Super Bowl winning teams, teams that got close to winning the Super Bowl, as far as I'm aware. I don't believe there was much else to it. Teams that had like cool storylines or interesting things behind them, but honestly, a lot of it was really just about the Super Bowl winners. It was a documentary, going through their entire season, but the players would look back on it rather than talk on it in real time. So there's a handful of mixed things there. One thing I really enjoyed was something you don't always get a chance to do or see are players' personalities show through in anything. And especially guys who are to themselves like a lot of the Red Sox players are. Jarren Duran is a guy who he'll go out of his way for anybody in the fan base, but he is a very quiet guy and sometimes often misunderstood, I think. Same thing with Tristan Casas. I thought, getting to learn a lot about him was awesome to me. I really, really enjoyed getting to hear his story, get to know who he was and who he is. And I'm going to be honest, it kind of made tonight's injury, or last night's injury, May 2nd's injury. This is coming out on the 4th, 2 nights ago when you're seeing this, but I'm recording this after watching this game. Where this injury kind of hurts a little more, because you got a chance to see who this guy is and how he fights through and battles through adversity, and how the fact that his season is just turning around. And he also had an injury last year that he had to battle back through, and so getting to understand Tristan Casas a little bit, getting to meet and understand guys like Lucas Giolito, who didn't play but was a bit of a part of the end of that documentary, and who's now, back in the rotation as a pitcher. You get to learn a lot about Brian Bayo, and I love Brian Bayo. I think he's a rising star in this organization. It's just really cool to get to learn those things. I enjoyed getting to see some of the faces behind the scenes of the organization. You know, the cameras behind the or inside the Green Monster, getting to understand and learn more about Craig Breslow as somebody who's in the front office and not on the mound pitching. I love Craig Breslow. He was a big part of that 2013 team as a reliever, and you know, this was one of my favorite people that we have in the front office as it stood. Getting to see his mindset, getting to see how he approached last year, being a year that nobody necessarily expected to be a playoff team, but seeing how he managed it, seeing what his thought process was, and going and getting James Paxton and Danny Jansen and others were really cool. And then seeing, again, kind of playing into how the offseason went and into 2025 now, how that looked and how that went as well. There's a lot of things there that I really loved. And again, getting to see these players' personalities, getting to see the coaches, the coaches, Alex Cora, getting to kind of understand him a little bit better. All of these things, because they did a really good job early in this documentary of kind of talking about the Alex Cora situation, of course, his suspension, and how the organization was like, hey, I don't care that you're suspended, we are going to back you, and we're going to bring you back, and you're going to be the manager. He is a player's coach through and through. Jason Baratek, same thing. Andrew Bailey was a guy that I really liked when I was a kid, getting to watch him play. And now he's a part of this staff in a way that's super meaningful. And I think he brings, obviously, he's brought a lot to the table because the pitching staff has improved. There's just so many things there that I really liked. And, there's things that I wish they would have done more of. And this video is not going to be very long because I don't have a lot of good or bad to say, and if you've watched it, there's not a whole lot to add on to or make, a big deal about. The things I didn't love was that there was really like a rotation of like 6 players that they talked to, like 5 or 6 guys that they seemed to go and talk to at any point. Getting to know Cam Boozer was awesome. I wish he was still on the team. He's not. That is what it is. But getting to know him and getting to know his story was awesome. Trevor Story is a guy that I wish would have been a bigger part of this docuseries, simply because I would have loved to have seen kind of not a behind the scenes of his rehab process, but seeing how he progressed through the rehab process and how, that affected him throughout the season, not being on the field, because, he was out in game 12? 13? He didn't even get 20 games in, I know that, so like those things are just the little minute tweaks that I would have liked to have seen. We got a little bit of that. We got to see Liam Hendrickson in his recovery process. We got to see Giolito. We got to see Casas, a good portion of his recovery. I just wish that Trevor Stories would have been in there a little bit as well. Beyond that, and beyond all of this, that there's not a lot to not like about this docuseries. I think it's really worth going and watching. I think it's a fun pass the time watch. It's not going to be the most educational thing. There are things you can learn from it, and I learned a lot watching it, especially from the side of how they approach their training. How much really goes into these bullpen sessions and stuff like that. That's something I like to learn about, because as somebody who when I was growing up, I was a pitcher. I don't think I ever realized how much really should go into those types of things. So little things like that. Otherwise, it's a great, fantastic documentary. And I think it's worth a watch. No matter who the team would have been, I think it's worth a watch. Which leads me to this, is I hope this comes back in 2026. It doesn't have to be a Red Sox documentary. I just want it to come back. I want to see what it's going to be and what they do with it and how they expand. And I think it's great. I think it's great for the game of baseball. You get to learn these guys' personalities and how these guys are on and off the field. And I think it's a really good opportunity to get to see the behind the scenes of a professional athlete and the life that they get to live. Who will it be? Who will be the team that they follow in this year's documentary? Because I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I'm not gonna act like I've looked into it. Um, if I were to say teams I would like to see in one of these, um, I think it's gonna be National League because we've already seen an American League team. I would like to see out of the East the Braves or the Mets. Out of the Central, I'd really like to see the Reds, especially at this point in the season. And in the West, Giants or Diamondbacks would be the teams I'd like out of there. So let me know who you'd like to see if you don't already know, or if you know, I don't really care. Just drop in the comments. If you watched this documentary, what did you think of it? Again, I'm kind of new to the documentary scene, like that. So let me know what you guys thought. Let me know if there's something I missed or something you guys, feel the need that maybe I should know. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like. It'll just let me know that this was actually a good, productive video to make. And if not, then I probably won't do that anymore, other than maybe on a Monday or Friday show. But yeah, I greatly appreciate you guys tuning in and sitting here for the last 12 minutes. Hope you guys had a great weekend, or having a great weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and have a good work week. Thank you all, and we'll see you in the next one.